Om Shanti. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Speak accurate words. Father Brahma's words were angelic. He spoke few but sweet words. Speak accurate words in the same way. Even if you have to speak because of your activities, do not speak too much. Follow the Father in your every thought, word, and deed. Let there be the greatness of sweetness and humility in every word. For this, consider yourself to be an instrument before you carry out any task, and then, with greatness, there will also be humility, and you will become an embodiment of success. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today is day 23. Imbibe the virtues of sweetness and humility to become great. Today's topic: speak accurate words. Pass with honor. Waste thought. Mental complaints about the body. Spiritual power to finish waste thought. Power of yoga. Baba's magic mantra. Sweet, sweet child, the Father took away worry and gave you intoxication. When there is intoxication, light shines on your forehead. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. We all know how to keep ourselves okay, keep ourselves well, right? And on this spiritual journey, constantly improving, getting better and better. Thoughts create vibrations, especially the attitude which we have has really, really powerful vibrations. Some people are very sensitive and also sensible that they are able to catch vibrations, and they try to take what is positive and don't take what they feel is not pleasant or good. But generally what we think is that why that person thinks that way or why vibration. But it's all right. No, instead of thinking about that person, but I should not take it. No, Baba always say don't give sorrow, but don't take sorrow too. This one causes sorrow, but I don't take it. But words are something which are expression of our mind. But they could be heard, right? Like vibrations, sometimes you feel, sometimes not. But words are always heard. And that means what you are doing through your communication, the relationships, and working together as team. Everything has a lot to do with communication. As much we acknowledge, as much we are clear. Of course, Baba had been saying humble and sweet. So, quite a lot to pay attention to our words. If there is this realization or importance of words, then when you have already spoken something, after a few minutes you say, I could have said it in a better way. I could have said in a pleasant way, or I could have said in a more softer way. If that realization is there, then I pay attention, and next time when I have to speak, it's definitely more gentle, sweet, more civilized, appropriate. Right? Sometimes some things we say is not timely. Same thing can be more useful at the appropriate time. It's quite a lot really, and you want to organize about how to speak, when to speak, how much to speak. And it's very interesting because within your own self, mm, as we pay attention to our thoughts, similarly, it's very important to pay attention to our words because words can trigger off someone's anger, someone's ego. But if my words should be such that it invokes, not trigger, it invokes within us very beautiful feelings, good feelings, feeling about your own value, about greatness. How do I make someone feel how important everyone is? Of course, through vibrations, but more important are words. I know that even when speaking, if you have to be very clear, and also some people speak very fast, so other person cannot really capture everything. If you are a good kind of thoughtful person, then every word you speak, every sentence you speak, you are thinking before speaking. Otherwise, you just keep saying it, and in a way, you are expressing what you feel about things. They might not be right, right? Maybe other person didn't mean what you are feeling. So, lot of things within relationships and communication are how I felt about it. But if you go a little bit beyond, it's like you focus on yourself. We focus a lot on what others do, how they do. All the time thoughts come. Why she said it? She shouldn't have done it. Why she does this? No. You don't earn income like this, right? You don't accumulate power. Whatever others do, but I should then be more attentive. What should I do? What should I say? So, in a way, attention is more of self progress, self transformation, always, not always about others. It's such a human nature. But Baba has taught us if you want to accumulate power, if you want to have self-transformation, look at yourself. How do I react? How do I respond? Because reaction is never appropriate. Because it will continue. Reaction, then another reaction, then they call it chain of action reaction. So it's a kind of, I feel it's very entertaining, enjoyable, how to assemble the right way to say things. It doesn't break but mend everything. Simple words like we go with a big situation and say to Dadi, Janki, it's very big situation. She says, make it small. And then you can deal with it. No, these are simple words, but they stay with you. I still remember that when she used to say, we will feel as our burden had been taken off. And now it's a small matter, and we will be able to solve it. Simple words which she will tell us, feelings about situation, responding to situations, and then, of course, speaking about all that. So it's the vibrations of the thoughts, but the voice also is very, very important. Little things, the way you say it, you do it, can you do it? Is it possible for you to do it? If you just keep saying, do it, do it, do it, other person doesn't really get the right message. Would you like to do it? Can you do it? Is it possible? Can I help you? These little words are comforting and respectful, and they touch the heart and invoke within us love, sweetness, humility. Because whatever way we speak, it invokes many kind of sanskars in others also. So Baba is saying today, speak accurate words, and I would say appropriate. What is appropriate to say at this time? Brahma Baba's words were angelic. So what is angelic words? Baba said he speak little but sweet words. So Baba said that speak accurate words. Is why I'm stopping, because I want to feel what it means to be having accurate words. Even if you have to speak because of activities, because of your activities, do not spend, do not speak too much. We always say keep going on and on and on. They stop it now, right? So if you really speak to the point, it's well received. So Baba says, follow the Father in every thought, your every thought, your word, and your actions. You might say, oh, I haven't seen Brahma Baba. How will I follow? It's the teachings, no? So Baba said, let there be the greatness, sweetness, and humility in every word. There should be greatness, sweetness, and humility in your verse. So Baba says, for this, consider yourself to be an instrument. We call it Nimit Bhav. So Baba says that consider yourself to be instrument. So more you carry out any task, and then with greatness there will be humility, and you will become an embodiment of success. So what is the true success? How it comes? Whether in the task or what you speak. There are a lot of people, they say, nobody listens to me. They don't care what I say. Instead of thinking that way, one should think, how should I say that it is well received? Lecturers, motivational speakers, all of them. It's the game of words, no? Same is when we speak knowledge or give someone God's introduction. What words I use. So it's not only for activities of our speaking, but even giving spiritual knowledge or any direction. There has to be a pleasant way, humble way, and the sweet way. So our words should have many, many these qualities. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, Didi, Om Shanti, Avyakti Parivar. So it seems as though you came back from India and you brought the winter all back to us. Since your return, we also returned to winter. So how are you doing with your time back now? You just came back a few days ago and you're in the evening doing Avyakti Parivar. You don't suffer jet lag like I do?
No, it's enough rest, and yeah, I'm okay. I mean, it does certain hours of the day, but I'm very good. I'm okay.
Mm. There's so many angles that we could look at tomorrow. Today is tomorrow Avyakti signal from, but you were using two words, accurate words and appropriate words. What do you mean by accurate and what do you mean by appropriate?
Because, let's say they always say that depends on, what the situation is, or also like sometimes we say timely. This is not the appropriate time. Like you are giving a good teaching, you are giving something like very good, but not in an appropriate way or at appropriate time. It's like a kind of sensible to say things in the appropriate way and at appropriate time also. Then they are heard, they are useful, beneficial, and you also feel that you have been heard. Because a lot of people have that difficulty. Nobody listens to me. They do what they want. I let them do what they want. But when we are together in family and work as a team, we need to be together, right? We cannot just say it's all right, whatever anyone. No, we all have to do things together. So accurate is could be more vocabulary, but appropriate is more like quality of our words.
Hmm. You know, we're listening to Brother Jagdish, and as I was listening to him, I'm remembering the brothers. You know, they were always senior brothers. They never became dadas. We had our dadas that I met, Dada in Kishore, Dada Vishwaratan, and so
Chan-
Chandrahas Dada.
Hmm.
And so even Gopal Dada, you know, we had them all. But then with the senior brothers, they always were bhais. They were always senior brothers. Uh, Bhai Sab. They were always Bhai Sab. So I'm thinking about accurate and appropriate with the way they spoke. And now I'm going to tell you what I feel, and then you could tell me what you feel. I think Brother Jagdish Pai, was a philosopher. His tone was a philosopher. His tone was a scholar. His tone was, he knew what he said. So he would speak in this accurate way, in a way that your intellect in listening to him, it became very tiring if you listen to him for more than 20 minutes. Your intellect is tired because your intellect has to follow him, and then it's too much. It's too much. On the other hand, Brother Nirware, I think he spoke appropriately, so appropriately that you don't agree with him in what he's saying, because he always wanted to be appropriate and he always wanted to please. He was a people pleaser. And so, and he had this tone of speaking very slowly, very laid back, in so much that once I said to him, Brother Never, hurry up and speak, because by the time you finish your sentence, I forgot what you started with. So I'm not able to respond because I forgot what you said. You're taking it so long that I can't follow you because I forget. I was teasing him. But he always said what was appropriate, but sometimes I feel it wasn't necessarily true. But he said what was appropriate because that's what the person wanted to hear from him. Now, what do you think about these two? And then I'll take Ramesh Pai and Brij Mohan Bhai. What do you think, the accurate and the appropriate? Brother, the philosopher is accurate, the people pleaser is appropriate.
I think if we can have combination of both, that will work very well. In the sense of, how much people want to hear is also important in accuracy and appropriate. Because if they are not ready to hear, as you said, that after 10 minutes, 15 minutes, your intellect is so full or stressed that you really don't want to hear more, right? You feel that you have enough. And see, one is speaking more on an intellectual level, other is speaking from heart. And what Nirvana did is that taking the feelings in mind of others, how will they feel? What should I say that they feel good, they feel encouraged, they don't get disappointed? So he was more into that kind of responding and helping the souls with their feelings. So I think one is more from heart, other is more from intellect. But I think if there can be combination of both, from the intellect and also heart, then I think it can work definitely, appropriate and accurate both.
Hmm. Okay, I agree with you. Nirvai Bhai always spoke to feelings. Jagdish Bhai spoke to understanding. So it's the head and the heart. But then you take someone like Brother Ramesh. Have you ever heard Brother Ramesh giving a class? He never has a comma, he never has a full stop. There was no punctuation in the way he spoke. He was like a super fast train from Delhi to Abu Road. Fast. He spoke very fast and he just was going like that. Now, what he was always saying, I mean, he was Baba's lawyer, he was Baba's accountant, he was Baba's, if there was anyone that was accountable, it was Ramesh Bhai. So he spoke with a lot of accountability. But the way he spoke was a super fast express from Delhi to Abu Road, nonstop. Or I could say from New York to Delhi, Air India, super fast, supersonic fast. And then you have brother Bridge Mohan Bhai. Now, he was always, he spoke in a way in which there was he was always aware of public opinion. He was always aware of the image that he had to uphold in the eyes of the public, in the eyes of the government, in the eyes of the Delhi, the capital. And so he, when he would speak, you knew that what he was saying carried a meaning that was bigger than what he was saying. Like you would ask him a question. Like I once asked him a question about attachment, and the response he gave me was there is attachment individually, but there is also attachment of association. So when he spoke more always like he's associating with the public opinion. He's associating it with a bigger picture. So, what would you say of the way these two spoke? One accountability, one of association. He was always speaking to the public. The other was always speaking because he wants to hold everyone accountable.
That means what your explanation is that the aware connection of awareness and words, right? That whatever is the awareness, whether it is about public opinion, whether it is, Ramesh Pai was in family, all others were single. So Ramesh Pai, whenever he spoke, were more to me the experiences of his life and being a professional. So I think that awareness, background, whether educational, social, all that has some influence on our words, right? So accuracy is according to also that awareness, and I think that if what Baba says, if we create the awareness as an instrument, as God's child, or whatever awareness, those vibrations will create the words accordingly, to awareness. And more we connect awareness and words, they will be accurate and appropriate. And of course, I think speed has also connection with when we are young, we speak very fast. I had to tell so many, can you speak slowly so that, and as you grow mature and you have more experiences, then when you are speaking as if you are thinking and speaking, not just from the intellect, but it's also from the heart. So I think that, yeah, your feelings about everyone is okay, but my feeling is more like, some spoke more intellectually some spoke from their heart. And
But
if we
don't
can combination, that's the appropriate and accurate.
but all four brothers met Bab Dada. I mean, met Brahma Baba, Sakar Baba. All four were nurtured by him. All four experienced Baba's humility and sweetness. And so, therefore, all four, it didn't matter the difference, the different ways that they expressed themselves. There was the flavor of Brahma Baba through them. They all had that humility. They all had that sweetness. I mean, they were really, really our big brothers. They may tell us off. They may tell us what we did wasn't right. But the love with which they did it, the love that they embraced us with, in hindsight now, I think they inherited that from Baba, and the way they had to work with the daddies, and these were like brothers that came from the world in major senior positions, and then they had to come and work with these daddies and became the backbone of the daddies, but had to put the daddies in front. But the respect that they give the daddies, they may have differences, and that was fine. But ultimately, the respect that they give to the daddies was incredible, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely, because they understood recognition of Baba, then family, then it's God's task, and all that understanding gives them that kind of feeling and sense of responsibility. Because they were so. I remember I was in Shantivan and something happened, and they came to know. So when they saw me, first thing they will ask that how am I and is everything okay, which I miss now because there is no one really ask you. But they were like big brothers, and all the time. One thing which is very powerful is their good wishes for us. They always not only sweet, but they had good wishes. And because of their good wishes, it helps us to experience that closeness, to understand the signal and ability to work together. So many things happen. Yeah, so definitely they have not only words, but they have good wishes too for us.
What was it in Nirvir Bhai's tone and words that made you say yes to him to be the head of the organization?
Mm. I think that because, he has deep love for everyone, and he always saw the positive side of that person. Like he will never look at shortcomings or weaknesses or anyone's nature. And he will always say very good things about everyone. So all those qualities, I think, made him like his words were appealing, very appealing. It touched the heart, and one says yes to that. He,
The
he
trust,
is
the
very
trust.
honestly express himself.
Mm, mm. So thank you. I have another
Mm.
big question here, but I don't have the time to ask you. I think my time is up. But I'll ask you maybe next Wednesday. So thank you. And it's wonderful. I'm remembering those brothers a lot now. I don't know why, especially
Mm.
in relation to Brahma Baba asking us to do things the way he would have done it. Those brothers did. The daddies did, of course. The brothers did, and now the Didis are doing
Mm.
it.
Yeah. Mhm. Good. Thank you, and Om Shanti.